So welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We should be apologizing for being a little bit late due to the fact some of our beloved former students have been willing to have, let's say, an intimate and a private interview with Richard and Jacques. So first of all, I would like to be welcoming back on board those who have been attending this fucking Master of Science and Lecture in Fashion Management last year. Thanks to Kitty, thanks to Remy, thanks to Jonathan, thanks to these guys. Thanks to the old lads who are following me on the way. I've been talking for many times, and Jacques too, much more than me, about Richard's secrets, about his beautiful history. It's my pride to welcome him there at SKEMA. He is, let's say, a world leader in design, in manufacturing, as a real trend forger, an opinion leader, and everybody is willing to copy and paste a bit. He has been strong enough never to be copying someone else. He has been creating, designing the way to success. He will be discussing that much more than me, but before he discussed that, and because we don't know the level of his achievements and the way he will be presenting to you, I would like to welcome on stage Régis, who's proudly representing the directors and let's say the board of the directors, so that he will be introducing Richard, and he will also be offering him a small gift in order to tell him thanks for coming, and he will be much more explaining to you the reasons and why that guy, that fellow, he granted such a diploma.
Thank you so much, Yvan. So welcome everybody, welcome Mr. Mille. I'm very pleased to be here today to welcome you at SKEMA. As usual, and it's always the case, Yvan is doing an excellent job with all the guests we have the opportunity to meet. So I won't talk about the salary of Yvan, but you can imagine that it's a very huge salary. So Mr. Mille, on behalf of Guillaume, we are very pleased to welcome you today. You can applaud. So I have a first gift for you, a diploma from SKEMA Business. So this is for you. Congratulations. So it's a diploma from SKEMA, and now you are the president d'honneur of the committee of the Luxury and Fashion Management Master of Science. So thank you, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Latin American style.
So thanks a lot. And then I have another gift for you. So this is something special, and I'm sure that Yvan will be better than me to explain that.
Okay. So the gift has been granted as a mouse-blown glass, let's say, of crystal, which is made by the guy who's been called the king of glass by the US, our friend Jean-Claude Navarro, with whom we've been working for almost 20 years. That's a real specialty from there. He's living 5 kilometers from the school, so for those willing to visit, we might be going it. And as Richard is the kind of guy who's been having many things, I know one thing for sure, is a kind of man who was driven by emotion much more than by money, is led and fueled by emotion, and he will be getting this souvenir from the area where he was born, that is to say French Riviera, because he was born in Draguignan. And the last but not least official novel today is you are having at the front row my, let's say, beloved chairman of the Olympic Committee, who has been also granting Richard the honorary medal of the Olympic Committee, just because of the fact he's the one who's been relaunching the 24 Hours in Le Mans Classic, and is also official sponsor to many top-level, worldwide known world events.
Merci.
Would you mind, sir?
So I think this is your turn. So thanks again for being here, and let me introduce Mr. Mille for a long speech. Thank you.
Merci Régis. Merci Yvan. Merci Jacques. Nice to be here. Don't watch too much those images because it's breathtaking as cars. I'm crazy about cars. And if I was sitting at your place, I would watch the movie instead. But we cut the sound, so you won't be able to hear anything, unfortunately. I'm very pleased because Yvan said a few words, and he mentioned passion better than money. And I would even precise, I would say when, if I can say, passion brings money. I have started, I am a baby. I have started 9 years ago. I was president of a company in Place Vendôme that is called Mauboussin. I was, no, I wouldn't say, we can never say you are losing your time, but wasting your time, but I wasn't doing exactly what I wanted. I am a very free person. If I speak without the loudspeaker, you hear me? No? No. So, I was always, since I was young, my mother was telling me, you only do what you like, you do everything by caprice and things like that. And I think she would be very happy now. Oh, thank you, merci, Yvan. Maybe later. But I think she would be very happy to see that I'm making money by doing what I want and what I like. And you know, we are today, before I explain to you how it worked, I would say we are in a world in a world of luxury, where everything is a little bit standardized, all the schemes are more or less like cardboard paper, or there is no much, according to me, there is no much room to individuality. And when I started, nobody, and when I say nobody, it's nobody, nobody would have put a coin on my face, on my head, because everybody was sure that I would collapse. So I was at Mauboussin, and it had been a long time I wanted to launch my brand. No, for ego reasons. I chose my name because I didn't want to spend time by searching a name. So my name was easy to pronounce in any country. I found it will be easy to remember. So I didn't want to waste time on that. And I had a very precise concept in my mind, what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring a milestone in the watch history, because to me, the luxury business, I had a very simple analysis. I didn't want to do on purpose. All my life I had been doing marketing studies, development studies, consumer habit studies, and I didn't want to do that because I was assuming, so when I say that, I say my business model is not certainly so easy to duplicate because it doesn't contradict the normal business model. It's just an additional business model. It's just to specify. So I didn't want to do any study because I didn't want to have any psychological break on my development. So I wanted to do what I wanted to do without any limit. The limit being the technique, and the limit, but the limit not being the cost. No way. So as I said, I didn't want to spend time on so-called marketing subtleties. I went right to the fact, that is to say, my analysis was to say the world of luxury has exploded. I think 15 years or 20 years ago, nobody did know the difference between Hermès and Louis Vuitton, between Patek Philippe and Omega or Rolex, and this was 15, 20 years ago. And 10 years ago, the culture, the luxury culture was much more precise. People knew exactly which was doing that. Today you have clients that have a fantastic luxury culture, and in the business that in which I am, that is to say the watch business, they have a very, very, very precise idea. Sometimes we even have problems with the salespeople in the boutiques because we have clients that have a better knowledge of the watch, of my watches, than the salesman, which is a problem, but it's like that. So the luxury culture as, I would say worldwide, today is very sophisticated, and the watch culture has also improved because also, I remember, my friend Jacques knows that, 20 years ago, there might have been maybe 20 magazines, watch magazines all over the world. Today, there might be 20 only in France. So this has totally exploded also. So the medias and the room devoted to the watches, to the watch culture in the medias was very small, in the media was very small. Today, there is a big, big, big room that is given to the watch business. And when you know that all the big corporations like Richemont, LVMH, PPR, etc., what they have invested in the watch business and is not finished for them, you understand that the watch business has a fantastic potential. And Swatch Group, of course, has a fantastic potential. So I was ready to go because I had a very precise concept in my head, and my concept was, and still is, because it didn't change, my concept is based on 3 pillars. The first pillar is the best of technique and innovation, and so pushing the limits, and you know you can push the limits without any problem. Today, I mean, we have, technically speaking, we have done fantastic progress. Innovation is creativity, and all my life I was frustrated because I was a manager and I was into numbers and I was into business plans, etc., etc. I was also in big corporations, and I was thinking I was losing my time, wasting my time also. So I was very frustrated not to develop the product that I wanted to develop. And at the moment, I said to myself, the only way to do it yourself. Then you will achieve, it works or not, but at least you will have achieved what we wanted to do. So, first pillar, best of technique and innovation. Second pillar, the best of a certain artistic dimension that I like, which is my artistic dimension. So, an architectural dimension, that is to say, a case, if we speak about watches, a case that puts all the mechanical aspects that I have talked previously in value to enhance all those beauties, because you work with pairs sometimes that are extremely tiny, but when you take a eyeglass, a magnifier or loop, you see absolutely a fantastic scenery. I speak for myself because some of you in the room might not like that, but it creates a lot of emotion to my eyes. And also, I give a lot of importance to that, ergonomics. I'm totally crazy about ergonomics. I mean, so many people have had watches that are impossible to wind, impossible that fit very badly on the wrist, that are not comfortable. So I give a lot of importance to that. And also, I was the first one to work on extremely light materials because I was extremely fed up with the marketing concepts such as what people call perceived value. That is to say, a watch is very heavy, so it has a value. For me, it's only bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. Today, you have companies that spend fortunes in developing cars, aircrafts, etc., to gain kilos, sometimes not grams, but each kilo to be cut cost a fortune. So why not in the watches? And I remember when I launched my first watches, they were in titanium. And I was the first one to do that, to do tourbillon watches at 200,000 or 300,000 euros in titanium. And people were shocked, saying, how come this coming from nowhere can sell a watch at this price, which is even not gold? And it's funny because when I opened my new boutique in Singapore in September, during the Grand Prix, I took the opportunity to launch a new line. And this line, I had decided to do it in gold. I don't know why. I decided to do a limited edition in gold, RM22. And I saw in this evening one of my clients, one of the first clients that I had, that was screaming at the beginning, saying, Ricardo, why you don't do it in gold? It will give more value, etc., etc. And the same guy told me, hey, why you do it in gold now? It's too heavy, I mean, it's not comfortable, etc. So it means that the consumer habits have changed drastically, and that today, in the luxury world, people are ready to accept anything that makes sense. I don't say stupid things, but things that are solid in terms of thinking and that have a sense, because nothing more comfortable than a light watch. And today, myself, I cannot wear anymore a gold watch because it's too heavy. I find it not nice on the wrist. I want to feel very, very comfortable and very free. So